there's been an update when it comes to Polkadot, and no, it's not about the price looking good because it's clearly not, and I'll talk about that very soon after I talk about this, even though nothing I say is financial advice. But here's the thing, Polkadot very recently made a post saying how smart contracts are now live on Polkadot Hub, which I actually think is a pretty big deal considering how this is something people really care about usually. But of course, a lot of the attention is kind of suppressed as of right now due to the altcoin space not doing the best. But here's the thing. In my point of view, how is this such a bad thing when it comes to Polkadot? Sure, its native token called DOT is around 37 times lower than $50 as of right now, which I'm still thinking about, and I'll talk about that later. But here's the thing. Despite that, though, I think this is pretty awesome considering how the sentiment, first of all, is not doing the best when it comes to the altcoin space, and yet still Polkadot is improving, it feels like to me, because we now know that the maximum supply when it comes to DOT, it's been confirmed at around 2.1 billion, around that approximately, right? Because we saw the recent post Polkadot made not too long ago regarding the tokenomics. Not to mention, we take a look at also that right there kind of puts a little bit of less, I guess, worry for me, right? A little bit of a less anxiety type of thing when it comes to knowing the maximum supply, and then it kind of got confirmed that it was going to be slightly at above 2 billion. So I do like seeing that. Not to mention, when I take a look at Polkadot as well, what I'm a fan of is that, sure, Polkadot 2.0, people like to say, oh wow, it was a flop. But I just really disagree with that because we take a look at, for instance, the aspects of elastic scaling. I don't think it's such a bad thing. And again, now we see smart contracts live on Polkadot Hub. Why is that such a bad thing? This is just my mindset. Now, here's the thing as well. People like to say, why isn't this doing anything when it comes to the price of DOT? Well, it's not going to just automatically do something. Just take a look at, for instance, right? Bitcoin's having a pullback. Sure, it had a slight recovery, then it had a slight pullback again, but how could DOT just randomly go on a rally of its own? There's just no way, right? And especially with the sentiment as of right now not doing the best. I've seen some random microcaps out there just randomly go on a rally, but I'm kind of skeptical in some cases. But besides that point, DOT, over 1 million holders, a top 50 project within this space in terms of size in regards to market cap. It's just not randomly going to go on a random rally of its own, despite whatever good news comes out when it comes to Polkadot, or no matter what they're doing in terms of innovating. It just simply won't if the sentiment isn't doing the best. But I think about how this could reflect later, maybe positively towards Polkadot if there is hypothetically an altcoin season. However, here's the thing. Despite DOT being around 37 times lower than $50, the reason why I don't want to leave is because if I leave right now, again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but what I'm doing by not leaving as of right now is I'm not realizing all of the downwards movements because, sure, DOT is very low as of right now, relatively speaking. Do I want to leave like that? It's basically at near all-time low territory. I'm not going to leave at that point. That doesn't make any sense to me because, first of all, I don't want to leave, and I don't need to leave anyways when it comes to DOT, so why would I do that just out of me being bored or just me following the sentiment and just leaving? No, I'm not going to do that. As of right now, as far as I'm concerned, this is all unrealized anyways. I don't want to realize it by me leaving, but this is just my mindset. However, also on top of that, since I'm looking to dollar cost average, and if I'm able to do so actually at near all-time low territories, I'm not going to complain because I actually like to dollar cost average at a lower point. Sure, I'd probably dollar cost average anyways if things do become better, but I like it better for dollar cost averaging temporarily if the price is hypothetically lower. Doesn't mean I want it to be that way forever. No way, right? But in terms of just dollar cost averaging, like, it's not going to be something I'm going to complain about personally in my perspective. Not to mention, if I take a look at it, DOT, okay, sure, it's around 37 times lower than $50, but I would actually like it again, right? If something is closer to a floor than it is a ceiling, because if it's closer to a floor, you know what? I'd be a lot happier because it seems like hypothetically the ceiling is farther away. Maybe if there is even an altcoin season, but we'll wait and see. But this is just my mindset currently. Not to mention, the way to take a look at it as well is that if there's over 1 million other individuals holding, I just don't want to be the one that leaves. But this is my mindset, right? Again, I'm not telling anyone to do this or that, no. However, also on top of that, I still like the fundamentals when it comes to Polkadot because it's still trying to connect blockchains together. It's focused on interoperability. its canary network called Kusama, it's still thriving. Granted, it's not doing the best in terms of sentiment, but it's still thriving fundamentally. So why would I give up? I just don't see the metrics for me to give up in terms of the fundamentals. Not to mention, I feel like Polkadot already has the ingredients, right? That's what I like to call it in terms of my analogy. It already has the fundamentals, already has a good amount of holders, already has that popularity, already has kind of the sort of innovation that I've seen as of late, already kind of has all that. What's the missing ingredient? It's that hypothetical altcoin season. That's it. It's kind of like that salt, the Salt Bay, right? That's the way I take a look at it. Like, the chef that puts salt like that. That's kind of my mindset. So if all the ingredients are there and all I have to do is wait for maybe hypothetically an altcoin season, I'm just not going to give up. Other projects out there, they don't have the initial ingredients. They don't have the core fundamentals yet. So if, let's say, there's hypothetically an altcoin season, a lot of these projects may just be underprepared. That's my point of view. Maybe. Arguably. So this is why I'm still staying patient. And anyways, at $50, hypothetically, considering current circulating supply, market cap at that point when it comes to DOT would be around 83 billion. So basically around the same market cap as Dogecoin at one point back in 2021. How is this so ridiculous? But this is my mindset currently. I just don't want to give up, but I'm still going to be waiting. I'm still holding, and I'm still staying patient. I don't have to hold this, right? I mean, this is not a requirement for me. I don't have to believe in DOT. I don't have to believe in Polkadot at all. But I'm voluntarily choosing to do so because I just like the project. And we saw the rebrand that Polkadot did not too long ago, right? They just made the design overall more simplistic and all this looks more minimalistic. And I do like that. So they've already done the redesign and all this. The fundamentals are still there. They seem to be wanting to improve. So I'm just not going to give up. I don't have the telltale signs for me to give up. The charts are not doing the best, but again, I feel like it's all unrealized for me anyways. I don't want to realize it by leaving. So if I still like the project and I still like what they're doing, what I'm going to do is just still dollar cost average once a month and just hold. That's it.